Greetings, free thinkers. Welcome to the Hoggcast. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing fine. I certainly am. Okay, what do we have for you on today's episode? We have for you one clip to watch. It's 3 minutes long, but I want to show you it because it is everyone's least favourite rhino in Lindsey Graham. This I saw a post from Matt Walsh about this, and one thing that he said struck me because it's something that I've been thinking about as well. These war hawks, yeah, the interventionists who think that they have to use your taxpayers' money and your sons' lives to take part in never-ending globalist wars, particularly in the Middle East. If it's not Middle East, it's North Africa. So now we have Ukraine, of course, and so on and so on. Well, Matt Walsh pointed out that the likes of Lindsey Graham don't have any children, okay, so they have no stake in the future, yeah. And if you've got no stake in the future, should you really have a say in the future? Especially if you want to dictate to those of us who do have children the direction in which the Western Hemisphere should go in, okay? Now, this is ridiculous what this guy's got to say, yeah? You should know, if you know anything about Lindsey Graham, how bloodthirsty he can be, yeah? Not with his blood, with yours, yeah? Well, here he is calling for a quote-unquote holy war, yeah? That is the language of radicals, right? That is the language of these various groups that you find in the Middle East, which are apparently our enemies, okay? Yeah, the likes of Lindsey Graham uses just the same language, right? So, you know, is there really a difference between these people? Yeah, because the MAGA base, as far as I'm aware, certainly don't trust this guy. They don't support this guy, and they don't believe in this guy. Yeah, he is a neocon, right? Anyway, look, let's get into the video, see what he's got to say. If you haven't yet, though, please like the video and subscribe to the Hoggcast. If you find this video informative, you can also become a member if you so choose, but of course, you don't have to. Okay, let's go. Okay, over to Lindsey Graham.
Tell the Ayatollah, if you kill one hostage, you launch another attack by Hezbollah against Israel, we're going to blow your industry off the map. Iran and Hamas.
So that's him. Sorry to interrupt so quickly. That's him threatening Iran that he's going to quote-unquote blow your industry off the map. So he's going to target production facilities, warehouses, oil refineries, storage facilities in Iran. Yeah. Not Gaza, Iran. Okay? So he wants war with Iran.
Believes that the Jewish people should die as a result of religious teachings. We're in a religious war here. I am with Israel. Do whatever the hell you have to do to defend yourself. Level the place.
You hold the source of the...
Level the place. He's talking about Gaza. He's gone from talking about Iran to Gaza. Yeah. Now, I shouldn't need explaining, but I will, because you know we live in an emotionally charged era. I'm no supporter of Hamas. Not only that, but I am avidly against the legions of young, physically fit, military-age men from these areas that are coming into the West. Yeah, I'm sure you are too. But that doesn't mean that you should just flatten Gaza. Yeah, I think everyone needs their own space. Every group needs their own space. Yeah, that's the best way to ensure, in my opinion, that you don't have forever wars, right? And stop interfering in everyone else's business. Remember, this guy doesn't have kids, so it's not... Whatever happens, he's always going to be okay, yeah? But you won't, right?
The problem accountable to the Ayatollah in Iran is a religious Nazi. I would let him know unequivocally.
What does it even mean? A quote-unquote religious Nazi? What is that? What is that? Define it for me.
If this war escalates, it's coming to Iran.
In terms of Hamas, kill them all. Gaza's going to look like Tokyo and Berlin at the end of World War II when this is over.
But remember, this guy's not Jewish himself, yeah? Why is this guy so bloodthirsty? And why are people electing this guy into office? How does this guy, Lindsey Graham, benefit you? Right, and I'm talking directly to the people in his state, yeah, who elected him. I would love to know how this guy is serving you, right? Because people like him, the neocon establishment, they seem to believe that you exist to serve them, right? That's why, in my opinion, the MAGA movement came about, because the MAGA movement and the patriot movements across the Western Hemisphere in general have a lot in common, right? One thing in particular, the idea that we can reset politics in the West back to the beginning, in which the people that get elected understand right down to their bones that they represent the people that voted for them, not the other way around, which is where we're at the moment.
To Iran, if this war escalates with Hezbollah, we're all going to come after you.
I would bomb.
Don't speak for me. He says, quote, if this escalates, and he's talking to Iran, quote, we are all going to come after you, end quote. Who's we all? The globalists, West? With what soldiers? Because we're not going to fight your wars. You would have to press gang people into the military, I think. If WW3 ever kicked off in the West, you would probably have to press gang people into service, conscriptions, forced. Because I wouldn't send my children, if I had grown-up children, yeah, to go and fight in a war that Lindsey Graham started, yeah. Something is funding Lindsey Graham and the likes of him because he seems wholly predisposed to war with Iran.
Iran's oil infrastructure. The money financing terrorism comes from Iran.
Comes from the United States, ostensibly, right? Where do you think they got, I'm talking about Hamas, where do you think they got all of the money, all this shiny new weaponry from? Iran is essentially just the middleman, right? The banker is you, Lindsey Graham, and yours, the Washington elite.
Time for this terrorist state to pay a price for financing and supporting all this chaos. Yes, if you're the Iranians, if it were up to me, this war escalates, I'm coming after you.
If Hezbollah attacks Israel, we're going to come after you, the Iranians, and have a coordinated effort between the United States and Israel to put Iran out of the oil business by destroying their refineries. There are 4 major refineries in Iran. They're fixed targets.
For every Israeli or American hostage executed by Hamas, we should take down an Iranian oil refinery. The only way you're going to keep this war from escalating is to hold Iran.
You're escalating it, you moron. But can't you see how your inflammatory statements from a sitting United States politician is escalating it? Right, it's just pure projection, isn't it? Right, apparently Iran is instigating or encouraging it, when this guy convicts himself with his own words, essentially. It's not Iran that wants the war. It's the neocons of the the globalists of the Western Hemisphere, evidently.
Accountable. How much more death and destruction do we have to take from the Iranian regime? I am confident this was planned and funded by the Iranians. We need to let them know they're a legitimate military target. 9 Americans are dead because the Ayatollah planned an attack. He could give a damn if Americans were involved.
You couldn't give a damn if Americans were involved, evidently, because, as I've pointed out, you have no children, you have no say in the future, no stake in the future. Yet you want to, you want to dictate the course of events. when win, lose or draw, it's never going to affect you, right? Imagine if this guy, Lindsey Graham, imagine if he cared this much about the people who elected him into office in the first place. You notice how he never talks about them, It's just what's happening on the far side of the world. That's what really matters to the likes of these guys. They are the living embodiment of the ancient meme of Nero playing the fiddle as Rome burned. Well, look at, and I love the United States, you know that. And it's not just the United States, Britain, Europe, Canada, Australia. These are Western countries that are in trouble. They've got problems mounting like you wouldn't believe, right? Especially the United States. So Rome, aka the United States, is burning, and Nero, aka Lindsey Graham, is playing the fiddle.
I am hoping somebody will tell the Ayatollah, we will hold you accountable for the escalation and blow up their source of revenue, destroy the Iranian oil refineries and oil production capabilities. If Iran believes that, they might restrain Hamas. If I was Israel, I would go in on the ground. There is no truce to be had here. I would dismantle Hamas. This is the best opportunity Israel has to destroy Hamas. Take it to the Iranians. If you harm one American in Syria by using your Iranian militia against us in Syria, if you escalate the war by urging Hezbollah to attack Israel in the north, if Hamas kills one American...
So, Lindsey, I would say to you is when the $6 billion in US taxpayers' money that was released to Iran, and which Iran said, and I quote, they will decide, the Iranian people will decide how best to spend that money. And then the people in question who have committed these terrible acts have brand spanking new military equipment. I mean, for heaven's sakes, as an aside, look what happened in Afghanistan with all of the military equipment you left behind. State-of-the-art military equipment that fell into the hands of the Taliban, okay? And it just doesn't... It's like talking to a brick wall. You can't see the problem in leaving this equipment for them.
An Israeli hostage, we're going to blow up your oil refineries and put you out of business. It is now time to take the war to the Ayatollah's backyard. The Iranians depend on oil revenue.
To take the war? What war? I didn't... When did we declare war? When did someone declare war on us? What war are you talking about? Okay.
For their livelihood. The money to sponsor terrorism comes from the oil industry owned by the Ayatollah. Destroy it. There are 4 refineries. Destroy it. Tell the Iranians, you escalate any further, then we're going to destroy your oil industry, and eventually we're going to have to deal with this regime by taking it down. This is a terrorist state that has American blood on its hands. It is now time to dismantle the financing system of terrorism if this war escalates. Yes, I would do a joint military operation. I tell the Iranians today, if the war escalates, you will pay a price. You will be out of the oil business. For God's...
This guy, I just can't I really cannot tolerate this guy. And I think, there wouldn't be much that me and CNN would have in common. But by the look on her face, I think she's the same. I mean, this guy, Lindsey Graham, he really needs to just go and take a walk in the sunshine, yeah? Do you understand what I mean? The crap this guy comes out with. Look at his face. Looks like a snarling animal. Look at that. This is the face of globalist neocon. It's just... There's never enough money. If it runs out, just tax the hoi polloi even more. Build more bombs. Drop bombs all over the place. Just look. Do you see? I'm sure you can see what I'm talking about. It's like a snarling animal. And then look at her face. Look at her eyes. She's like struggling to take this guy seriously. This is what happens when you spend too long, your whole life even, in the Washington swamp. You end up like this. Anyway, look, that's the end of the clip. I'll leave it there. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.